You ready? Come on. So wait, sit down, sit back down. So now this is negative punishment. He wanted you because of his reaction. I corrected him, that's positive punishment, but now I took you away. Now you don't get him, right? So now his actions have consequences. So I'll wait for him to chill out again.
Is the bark out of frustration, out of dominance, out of...
That context, frustration. Demand, God damn it, get over here, hurry up. I've been calling you, you don't hear me? Right? And you can tell because of the high-pitched barks are more, hey, panicky, anxious, right? It's like when your voice cracks. The low ones are the ones you need to be concerned about. The right. Yeah, that stuff. And think about it too, the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest, right? So it's the same with dogs. Now, it's not that he won't escalate to that, but initially when he's being loud, that's just a big display. Puffing his chest, yeah, I'm big, I'm bad. If you don't let it phase you, then he'll get insecure, he'll stop. But if you're like, oh shit, calm down, then he's like, yeah, that's right. And he gets more confident because of it. Okay, so ears are still pinned back a little bit. That's what I love about the Huskies though, their ears tell you pretty much what they're feeling and thinking.
What are you getting from his ears right now?
You see how they're kind of like he's flattening out, like the top of his head kind of feels like flat. So he's just kind of like stressed, like he's marinating in the situation, right? So what I would like to see is for them to come forward or just to kind of be more in the up position how they normally are.
It's kind of like Stella, like when you make her mad, you know? She puts her ears back, she's like showing that, you know, she doesn't like it or stressed. They call that like airplane ears or something.
Yeah. Almost like the wings on the helmet of, you know, kind of looks silly. And then you could see like stress panting, like he's panting heavy. And that's what most of this behavior stuff is, like a waiting game. You gotta let the situation play out and you let the dog come to a decision. When they decide and they come to the conclusion on their own, it sticks much better than if we're always influencing their decision. Oh, it's only because you're here. It's only because I can't get away. No, even when you can get away, even when I'm not here, this is what happens.
Slightly unrelated, but the heel command, how is that different from like a stay or like what, I guess when you're telling a dog to heel or like commanding it to heel, what's the outcome you're looking for?
So with heel, he's trained to follow the left leg, right? You start in a seated position. His head is next to my knee. His nose doesn't go past my toes. When I say heel and that left leg moves, he follows. When the left leg stops, he sits.
Okay.
So it's more of a mobile in motion type of thing. Stay is stay exactly where you at. Okay, so ears are better, right? He's kind of moved on to something else. Better reaction, impulse control. Ots. Ots. Yep, remember the ots. Bring him next to your side. Remember, get him in the box. Correct that behavior. Have a seat. Remember, it's not you disengage. Once you give them the directive, disengage, right? Because you don't want to have a staring contest with them. Ots. If he's messing with your arm, instead of moving the arm away, shove him off. Ots with the arm. So he's being social, right? He's like, hey, I missed you. Like, hey, let's, and it's so hard because I know you want to say hello to him, but not like this, right? We don't want him being overstimulated by us. I want a nice, calm, hey, Dad, how's it going, right? And we'll get to that point, but he needs to learn how to do this first.
We've got to learn how to control our emotions so he'll control his.
Exactly. So you see how he's not in the box? Get him back in the box. Yep. And then relax. Do you see him burp there? He kind of like, so when dogs get nervous or anxious, sometimes they get gassy. They'll burp, they'll yawn, they'll do little stress appeasement behaviors.
I've seen him do that before, but I sometimes thought it was like similar to, when they kind of like cough or choke, like from the pressure. I thought it was maybe more so that.
It's like indigestion. It ever happens to you, right? Like you start to burp, you're like, oh, yeah.
Especially when I'm anxious.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of parallels to draw from it, so that's why it's like if you know what that's like, you can understand what he's going through, and you can kind of think, what is it that I would want in this situation, and rationalize it that way. Holy shit, so much better. Correct that. That's it. Good. So remember that we understand that him licking himself is more like avoidance. He's checking out. So it doesn't require a hard correction, just to, hey, knock that shit off.
I don't think we've talked about this before, but what, when some dogs, especially like male dogs, for example, like try to hump a human, like what are they indicating, or like is that a dominance? Oh, okay. It just randomly came to mind. One time in the past, he had a random friend come over, and we saw him, like he was acting excited with other people, but for some reason that guy, he kept trying to like jump against him or hump him. And I mean, after getting corrected a few times, he finally stopped. But
was this guy small? Was he big?
He was small, like not much taller than me. I'm talking about Marco's friend, the like skinny, short guy.
Damn, for real? I don't remember that.
This was like your birthday a long time ago.
Was he like, oh, ha, 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 like being playful with it? Or?
I mean, for the most part, he'd been avoiding him, like not intentionally, but like not directly interacting with him. And this guy just happened to be standing like behind our couch, kind of like leaning forward on his arms. And then out of nowhere, Leo just kind of like walked up to him, sniffed him, like was like sniffing around his legs, and then immediately jumped up and was trying to hump him. And I mean, like I was able to like get him off and like separate them. And he tried to go back towards him once, and after that gave up. Ooh, that was like 2 years ago, so...
It's probably just like a couple months before the incident.
No, this was at your birthday in February. Like, this was almost a year before the incident, so I guess he would have been like 2-ish.
Yeah. Oh. So it's likely that he was coming into social and sexual maturity, right? He's intact, had a bunch of testosterone in him, probably felt over-aroused, saw him, was like, oh, you look like you're cute, whatever, and decided to display some dominance against him. Yeah. But yeah, it's a dominance display, because you'll see females hump male dogs, and they're just trying to dominate. Literally, that's all that is. They're not trying to procreate, obviously.
That makes sense, because I mean, the only other time I've seen him try to hump is another dog, other than that one guy. So for some reason, just now that like situation came back to my mind, so I wanted to ask while I was thinking about it.
Pet him calmly. Just pet him.
This is okay because it's on his terms after he's calmed, right?
Good boy.
First time you get to pet your dog in
Wow.
Wow.
I was about to say, I think that feels good for both of you.
But he feels like a carpet.
So you see how we're teaching him, you can get what you want, but you got to do what I want first.
Yeah. Oh, this is making my eyes water a little bit.
Pet his face.
Oh yeah, that armpit scratch.
Go ahead and stop. Be prepared for him to react.
What?
So you see how he's getting pushier? You need to match that +1. So right there in the odds, you stayed at the same level. He went up. So when you feel him get double down and get pushier, bump it up a couple notches. I'm telling you, you correcting him is not going to set him off into aggression, but you under correcting him definitely will. Think of it because like you're nagging him. Does that make sense? Avoidance again.
And I feel like that was the perfect example of like the give him an inch, take a mile. Like he gave him the pets and then he wanted more. So immediately was trying to force more.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him as overstimulated as possible, being fair. I don't want to go crazy, but get him as overstimulated as possible with me and him so that when he gets to you, he's already been overstimulated. He can't get higher. Does that make sense? Oh, that's good. That's better. Wait for him to chill out a bit more. So, same, better, worse than last time?
I would say kind of in between same and better.
I would say same and worse, or same and better in some spots.
Yeah, agreed. Like in the beginning, he maybe came in with more energy than last time, or like I think when you first sat down with him, it took him, he was a little bit more vocal, or like when he first stood up. Yeah. But then at other times, like when you sat down for the first time, he had a faster reaction. So
now you're gonna pet him again? Pet him again? Stay calm like you did last time? All right, that's good. Relax.
Hots.
Good.
Hots.
Yep. Just wait, yep, relax. So that's him saying more, I want more. Avoidance. You see that? Trying to hide behind dad. So it's you can't do that, but you can't escape or avoid either. We don't run from our problems. And I also think part of the reason why he was overstimulated coming in was because I didn't start with the settle. I went right to place because I had to put the dominant dog collar on him.
this time versus the last time he pet him, he's now like he's set, but intentionally like set facing away from him. I assume that was on purpose and like kind of trying to be like, well, fine then.
Well, again, it's avoidance. He's like, all right, yeah, like you said, like find them, right? So this is a step in the right direction. It's showing me that he's understanding. Mm-hmm. He hasn't accepted it, mm-hmm. but avoidance is the first step to acceptance.
Right. But it doesn't warrant, like when you see that, for example, it doesn't warrant like a correction per se? Okay.
No, because he's not, it's not plain up, straight up disobedience. I can rationalize what's going on here just like you did. And it's better than what he was doing. If I nag him or correct every little thing, then it's damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm just gonna do what I want anyway. So when the dog offers you something that's better than the behavior you were correcting, take it. We can always clean it up or improve later. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think that's the biggest issue with people when training their dogs is we're so used to instant gratification. I want something, I can go on Amazon, get it here tomorrow, right? Doesn't work like that with dogs, especially when it comes to these habituated behaviors. You need to drill it until they offer it as a default. Okay, so now pet them again.
I guess it's kind of like a angsty teenager. Like they may do something, but they may not like it. But I guess you don't have to get onto them or correct them just because they don't like it, because at least they're like obeying. Right.
All right, go ahead and stop. Do you see? And then just ignore him. Just ignore him. So that's again him trying to be puppy, trying to be like, hey, we're pals, we're friends. Yeah, but not right now. Yeah. Just ignore him. So see how you were already getting ready to correct and he hadn't done anything? So just by you doing that body language, he could have been like, oh, okay, your hands. So that's what I'm saying. Be prepared, stay there, but don't act until he does. Because there's a lot of times he self-corrects. We've seen it. He goes to do it and he stops himself. So just ignore him. Now he's locked into her.
I can feel him watching me.
He wants double pets.
Well,
Scratches.
I noticed earlier too, like when you were first trying to get him to settle and he like started to look away, I like laughed a little bit loudly and he snapped around and looked at me and like got alert, like he wanted to jump up again.
That was a good escalation. Yeah, sometimes like you laughing, you talking, you breathing, moving. Huh? Were you talking to me? Right? Like that one kid that always wants attention in class.
When I assume now, because he's gotten the pets from him, he's kind of like automatically assuming like, okay, your turn, you next, now you pet me.
And because this is the first or the second impression, it's going to be just like it was with Angel the first time. It's just going to be neutral and stoic. We're going to work you to this point. But like I said, I'm trying to get him as overstimulated as possible between the two of us so that by the time he gets to you, it's already there. Good, good. You guys are picking up a lot of stuff. I like it. I'm not having to repeat myself.
Thanks. I think dealing with this, like personally, is forcing me to deal with my own stuff, like fear and the unknown. And when you said spiraling earlier, like that's my middle name. So this is kind of forcing me to improve, not just for him, but kind of for myself too.
I'm telling you, I like all but healed my PTSD through dogs because it was the same like reaction, that oh shit, fight or flight response moment, but it was with something I understood. You know what I mean? It wasn't with some terrorist trying to end me. It was with the dog that I understand why he's acting that way. And so it helped me kind of ground myself and work through that stuff. And I actually almost find it soothing now. It's weird.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, honestly. It's like hard for me to like wrap my head around the fact that you were able to get to that point, but also at the same time, like, I hope that, I mean, eventually down the road, maybe it'll do something similar for me. Like, mine is obviously like trauma is very different from yours, like no way compares, but to this day still like see it pop up a lot and live with it a lot. So to think that like I never thought of him as like being a resource to help me work through that, but now it's making me see it a lot differently. Like I think he can get as much from us as we can also kind of get from him too.
And then look, your level 10 trauma is no different than my level 10 trauma. It's just different experiences. So just because you didn't go to war doesn't mean you didn't experience something equally traumatizing that still affects you. So it's yeah, I mean, you can get there too. And the thing with me is I immersed myself in it. I realized there was a problem. I wanted to solve it. So I put myself in situations where I would get triggered and I worked through it. And so like that takes a lot, and I did it consistently for a long period of time. Took me probably about 2.5 years of just consistently working on it to get to a point where I could manage and navigate it. And I mean, to this day, I'm not 100%, right? But like, I say I'm in the 90s, you know, like 90% of the time I can control it. The other 10% of the time I can understand it. There hasn't been a point in time where I haven't had like a trigger or an episode and I haven't been able to recognize, oh, I'm triggered right now. You know, like I was getting this tattoo done here. It was 3 8-hour sessions, and my tattoo artist put on the History Channel, and they were talking about D-Day, the invasion of Normandy, and it was the 1st Infantry Division, and that's the unit that I was attached to. So I'm sitting there, and then I get an alert from my watch saying that my heart rate's 145, and I'm like, hey, is this normal? And he's like, I don't know, what does that mean? And then I was like, oh, I'm triggered right now. I'm having PTSD. I need a breather. Knowing's half the battle. Now that I know it, I can snap out of it, or I can just start using tactics to bring myself down. Pet him. All right, stop. Disengage. So now what we're gonna start doing is, as soon as he offers that belly, like he drops to offer that belly, just stop petting him. That was so much better. Walk him over to place.
Place.
Drop that leash. Place.
Place.
Go sit down.
I think what maybe will be tough for me is like how to gauge how much pressure to like put on the leash. I don't want to overdo it, but I also don't want to underdo it.
I prefer you overdo it than if you underdo it. Okay? Because it's easier to overcorrect and dial it down than to under, and then have to go up. Okay? So look, do what you feel is right. If it works, you're good. Right. And then if it doesn't, go harder. And I'll tell you, I'll be like, nope, go up. Harder, harsher. Timing. You know, I'll give you the feedback. Like just like with you, right? When you, because the thing is, like when you push the dog like that, it's opposition reflex, and it's literally like yo-yo, right? I want off, fuck off me. Do you see how there he
didn't push back against you? Yeah, plus I feel like the soft, like, could be misconstrued as like oh, you're trying to pet me, or be gentle.
Yeah, I'm not saying like elbow your dog in the fucking face, right? But it shouldn't feel good. It should be like gentle.
They shouldn't enjoy it.
Right. Okay, you ready to warm the seat up? Yeah? Nope. I got you, I'm right here. Hold on. Just come have a seat.
Should I push off now?
Yep. Relax. Push off with your foot. Yep. Don't even look. You're good. You're good. Yep. At the same time. Bring them forward a little bit. Yep. Disengage. Doing great.
Thanks. I feel like I got in this position and then just like everything I learned went out the window.
Yeah. Everyone out the window.
Yeah.
Forgot how to speak.
Literally.
Forgot how to think. So, do you see how you changing your behavior is affecting his behavior? He's like, what the fuck am I in the Twilight Zone right now? What is going on? Ooh. There it is.
Is stretching like that an avoiding behavior? Is that just like a comfort?
Yeah, it's more of displacement, right? It is a display of like he's a little uncomfortable, so he's trying to like stretch it out or shake it out. But it's also he's trying to displace that energy of like, kind of like how you took a deep breath. Kind of how like you took a deep breath right before you came in. So with your shoe, a little harsher than that, okay? Harsher, yeah, because you went.
Oh, okay.
Use your leash too.
Harder. Bring them forward. Forward. Keep going forward. There you go. Relax. Disengage. Elbow. Yep. Disengage. Avoidance. He's gonna lay down though. Correct it. Harsher. Yeah. Correct it. Pop.
It's hard to like get my mouth familiar with saying
It's okay. All right, focus on the physical. We can catch up with the verbal, okay? You see how there's a little bit of tension in your leash? Relax just a little bit, okay? So the first off is the coaching, like disengage, this, that, with your shoe. Is that helping you?
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, you're staying at the same level of correction. You're going up. You're not, there needs to be more from you, right? especially if it's not working. So I would love for you to be able to get louder. If you can get louder, I need you to get harsher. Okay? You're not going to hurt him with this correction. Like I told him, the correction is not going to set him off into aggression. And if it does, I'm right here with the emergency shut-off valve. Okay? So again, his ears are pinned back. He's still pretty stressed, breathing pretty heavy. So I want to wait for him to calm down before I have you pet him. Or we're not going to pet him today. That's right, I forgot. Look at me. Fucking up already. But what we'll do is we'll switch. I'll settle him. Then we'll go back again.
And say like I were to get up with him right now and want to take him over there to put him in place. When I get up, I forget what I want to say free or not want to say. Okay, what?
That way he knows like he's released from this position and he can follow you. Yeah.
In there. Honestly, I thought he was gonna put up a lot more of a fight before laying down.
Loosen the pickle jar. Next time we'll start with you.
Ooh. Okay, that's all right.
She's like, God damn, what I signed up for.
Oh, I noticed just like earlier, I laughed kind of loud and he like flicked his tail at me and turned around immediately.
He needs to feel that. He needs to, it shouldn't be such a distraction that you can't be yourself.
Yeah, well, and he kind of went back to normal pretty quickly when he realized I wasn't like looking at him or directing it at him.
And then, yep, there he's looking. He's like, I want it. But he's not going to get it.
Does posture matter? Like, say I were to sit back and like physically become more relaxed.
It does. It shows more confidence. Just shows you're good.
Right. Like confident that I can relax because of him.
So he's laid down, but still open mouth panning.
Units are still there.
Yeah. And this is just psychologically, we're just knocking him down a few pegs. Hey, you're not in charge of us. You don't call the shots. You know, he's being humbled, is what it is. Questions, comments, concerns while we wait? How are we feeling about this?
Pretty good, honestly. When I first got off the couch, I like immediately felt like my like chest and like stomach kind of tense up a little bit. I think that anxiety hitting that like, oh shit, okay, now it's time. Yeah. But honestly, like once I sat down and it took a second, you know, but once he kind of like laid down and started getting calm, immediately that went away.
Yeah. Did you see him there? He offered it, right?
He's like, okay, come on.
Yeah. There it is. Did you hear it?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Go ahead, have a seat on the couch. Do you notice how when I take out, he doesn't fucking move? He's just like... But I think it also is because of the way you're approaching. You're kind of like... Because you don't want him to make the mistake. It's okay, make the mistake. I'll correct you when you get here. Right? Good man. Now this is cooking his fucking brain. He's gonna be so gassed after this. Good man.
He kind of started to like move his back leg just now as if he was gonna roll over, and then looked at you and realized like, well, actually, and stopped.
We don't. The first couple times he did it, it was like, okay, it's cute. But then we noticed it was like there's an ulterior motive there, so we stopped giving it any attention. That burp again, did you see it? Getting gassy, a little sniffing.
this position he's in right now, that he was in, is that like a relaxed?
Did you notice he was sniffing the leashes?
Oh, it looked kind of like he was just resting his chin.
Right, it did, but he sniffed the leashes before and kind of licked it.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like, is it the leashes?
Right, okay, I see.
And to answer your question further, say I'm wrong and it wasn't the leashes. If he was resting his head, he unrested real quick. So it was short-lived. It was an actual relaxation. Yeah, and the more I think about it, I'm just like, I've had so many dogs come through my program that aren't even moderate risks, but would try to bite me for far less than anything we've done with Leo. And I don't want to discredit obviously what happened, but I don't see how even past training, if you guys are responsible and you take the precautions, I don't ever see him getting in a situation where he's going to do that again, if I'm being for real. Like as long as there's no free access to a resource like food, toys, furniture, the stairway, I think even if somebody tried getting in his face, I think he would remove himself at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if he was truly like innately dangerous, he's had a billion opportunities to show that. And for there to be like all of those opportunities, but only one he saw through, yeah, I feel like that says a lot.
That's acceptance. Do you see the difference?
Relaxed.
Yep.
Cut aside a little.
Yep. Ready? Just sit down, straight, disengage. Hell yeah. Didn't even get up.
Show off for mom, right?
Yeah. Just wait him out. So you see him escalating, right? The behavior's escalating. Just wait it out. Because if you correct him right now, if you give any feedback, he's gonna get impulsive. But if we let him figure it out on his own, I bet he lays down. So this is what I mean by let it play out. We're just gonna see what happens. Turn him around, turn him back around. Just use the leash. There it is, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna get up, free, bring him over to place.
Free.
Just walk over, say Leo, place.
Leo, place.
Wait for him to offer the SIT. Go, Ats.
Ats.
Step forward.
Ats. Ats.
Pop the chain up. All right, too late, yeah. Drop the leash. Tell him place.
Place.
Go sit down. So, what I was trying to get you to do there was first wait him out, see if he offers it. He didn't offer it. Ats. He still didn't do it. Ats. Still doesn't do it. Ats.
Okay.
Ask, tell, make. Right? But that's fine. How do you think that went?
Honestly, I'm kind of like mind blown a little bit.